tutorial should help you get familiar with the game's interface. This tutorial should help you get familiar with the game's interface. Clicking on the choices Clicking on the icon above the choice will play its audio. With these arrows, you'll scroll. Click on this button to hide the book. Now click it again to reveal it. Click on the bottom left corner to move. Now click it again to return the elements to the... These buttons are to manage the narration's audio. Here, you'll find the icons to manually save the game and to see the amount of faith you have left. Here, you can find the icons to return to the main menu. When you return to the main menu, now, click on the first choice to begin your story, or click on the other one if you'd rather get to know the game system better.
For years now, peace has been reigning over the continent of Hesperia. The feats of ancient heroes, warriors, and magicians will live on as legends and children's bedtime stories. Everything is back to normal. Markets and trades are flourishing, raids of marauders are rare, and brigands have mostly taken to dwell in hidden groves and forests. However, wizards have lost control over their dark experiments. The Tower of Balinor has become the cradle of new races and monstrous creatures. They now roam free in the lands of Kael'Sanar and beyond. Without hesitation, Leon decides to head to Laganasan. The cold desert is an inhospitable region inhabited only by outlaws. Its border is marked by an imposing metal fence. No one has ever been able to climb over it. Several barracks are placed along it, evenly spaced, with hosts of soldiers. Leon is outraged by the power play taking place. He decides to act upon getting rid of his audience. Leon is fast, and the soldiers have no time to react. Once over the border, Leon explores the area. The ground is black. After some time, Leon finds the hill surrounded by bones. The wizard decides to step into the cave, and an eye is soon upon him. The dragon rises abruptly, spreading its mighty wings that take up the entire den. It roars and bellows a flame upwards. The dragon is imposing. Next to it, Leon is merely an ant. The wall of water conjured by Leon shields him from the blast of fire, confusing the dragon. Leon must seize this moment and decide whether to hurl a volley of water blasts at its head to knock it out without wounding it, or to block the movement of its limbs by summoning roots from the ground. His play succeeds, and the dragon collapses to the ground, exhausted. Leon approaches the reptile and lays a hand on its snorting snout. Leon gathers a state of utmost concentration as he was taught by the wizards of Amarin. He exploits his telepathic abilities to sneak into the mind of the now tame beast. He conveys the message that he is a friend who simply needs its help. The dragon is confused, and the wizard manages to flatter it quite easily. Despite its colossal size and devastating power, it is still just a simple-minded animal. Even though Leon has gained control over the dragon, he can't take advantage of all its talents just yet. Therefore, he decides. Leon enters the Ruloth Forest, an area that has long served as the home of several outlaws. Reminiscent of his mentor's stories, he remembers that the tomb of Asperia,
the magician who had protected him as a child, should be here. The tomb guards a medallion containing the blood of 2 wizards who, like him, were able to control all 4 elements of nature. He must have it. Thanks to the instructions in the Blood Magic Book, he will uncover the secrets
that will allow him to fulfill his claim to power. Leon explores the darkest nooks, looking for telltale signs. A shadowy atmosphere surrounds him, as if he were inside a cemetery, or worse, an open-cast crypt. An ill feeling rushes through him, such as he has never felt in his entire life. After wandering for several hours, Leon finds 2 tombs. They are both just simple mountains. The blood misled Leon. As he moves the first stone, an undead skeleton appears in front of him. He has the beat of one breath to make a decision, and his heart pounds in his chest. Leon, however, is not defeated by fear and invokes his magic. The skeleton crumbles to the ground and dissolves, but a cloud rises from the bones. It takes a screeching and ghostly shape. It's a banshee, a witch of nightmares. A black, torn mantle shrouds the decaying green ghost. It is an irksome foe. Leon needs something to soften the ear-shattering sound of her penetrating cry, but all elements conduct sound. Creating a highly conductive speed barrier might turn her attack back upon the banshee herself. Leon can choose to employ a liquid, solid, or fizzy element. But he must also decide on the temperature at which to summon it. That's the only way he can survive this. He must act quickly to create a barrier around the specter before she unleashes her deadly wail. His barrier wasn't very effective. The banshee's cry is powerful enough to break through the magic wall and hurls him to the ground. The wizard covers his ears, but it's useless. The ghostly scream pierces his skull. His cry joins in with the specter's as he feels his brain pulsing together with his temples and head. Leon's skull explodes. Blood and brain matter. The skeleton crumbles to the ground and dissolves, but a cloud rises from the bones. It takes a screeching and ghostly shape. It's a banshee, a witch of nightmares. A black, torn mantle shrouds the decaying green ghost. It is an irksome foe. Leon needs something to soften. The wizard remembers that sound propagates faster through solids at high temperatures. He summons a granite wall encircled by a curtain of fire, which envelops the specter. Her cries are astounding, and Leon falls to the ground, covering his ears. Even though he made the right call, the banshee is overwhelmingly powerful, and he is stunned all the same. As he stands back up, he sees there is no trace of the wall, nor of the specter. Leon is frightened, but he then remembers of Daragost Layar's blood oath sworn on Asperia's tomb. The blood. Leon decides to go after the Book of Blood Magic. He heads northwest for the city of Remagost, close to the border with the cold desert. He might find an old acquaintance there to start issuing his first. Leon indulges in a night of restful sleep to restore his energy. After fleshing out the last details of his plan with Ankalimo, he resumes his journey to the north. First, however, he must carefully choose the enchantments he'll rely on. Triumvar Lotanor was able to bend all of nature's elements to his will, so he needs to be ready for any circumstance. As evening falls, the wolves' howls echo in the ominous landscape. The wizard comes across an imposing jet tower. Searching around the complex, he locates the door with surprising ease. Leon is skeptical. He had expected some sort of magical ploy to be hiding it. Perhaps all of Triumvar's enchantments were lifted upon his death. However, his sixth sense warns him that something isn't quite right. Examining the tower thoroughly, he finds the bones of a mouse. A trap appears to still be operational. Roots suddenly spring up from the ground. They envelop Leon's legs, immobilizing him. The grip is brutal. Leon indulges in a night of restful sleep to restore his energy. After fleshing out the last details of his plan with Ankalimo, he resumes his journey to the north. First, however, he must carry... The window's shutters are open, and Leon enters the tower effortlessly. The room is pitch black, save for a single glimmer of light that shines on a desk. As Leon takes a step forward, the windows shut abruptly and everything fades to black. A heavy silence looms over the room. The only sound Leon can hear is a dripping noise that grows increasingly louder until it resembles that of a babbling brook. The water soaks Leon's feet, soon rising to his ankles. Even though he can't see anything, he must hurry. Leon feels his way around the room. Searching the room, Leon finds an hourglass on the desk, the only object in the otherwise unadorned chamber. Leon tries to pick it up, but the base is fixed to the desk as a sort of lever device. The movement stops the water flowing in from above, and it starts to drain out through several nozzles that sit along the walls. Meanwhile, a door opens, pointing him towards a long and winding spiral staircase. It leads up to the top of the tower. Leon bolts in as the door shuts behind his back. This time, the room lights up completely. The chamber is circular in shape, and at its center lies a bookstand with a significant tome on top. Closing in, Leon reads the title, Blood Magic. Everything seems easy, perhaps too easy. But Leon has a shut door behind him, and there is no way out. Out of nowhere, a fire elemental appears, ready to jump on the sorcerer. It seems that summoning an earth elemental wasn't the best idea. Perhaps he should have chosen to use water against... Searching the room, Leon finds an hourglass on the desk, the only object in the otherwise... Leon kills the Guardian and takes the book. A secret door opens along the side of the tower, and he steps in. A row of torches lights his path, even though he can't fathom how any of it is...
Several years have passed since Leon set out to seek his obsessions. His stubbornness resulted in a war for the conquest of Kelsinar. However, the walk to Rulath Forest was long. Before you is a dark maze of trees and entangled branches. You'd rather not go into the woods now, as it's evening. But you need to find Daragast as soon. Waiting means hesitating. The wolves sense your fear and the whole pack jumps on you. The strategy you'd thought up doesn't work out well. The walk to Rulath Forest was long. Before you is a dark maze of... With woodland predators, the best strategy is to strike first, and quickly. You can't show any fear. You unsheathe your knives with both hands and hurl them in one single fluid movement. You hit the first two wolves straight between the eyes. The third beast immediately stops growling, turns tail, and runs. Nature's perils seem to have come to an end, but your ranger's instincts suggest otherwise. Ruloth might still have a few surprises in store yet. However, the path you've chosen seems to lead away from the cabin. It keeps changing its course. You're afraid you might run into more wolves. Your perseverance pays off. You almost didn't expect to see the cabin's light again. You've arrived directly on the village is quite rural and is mainly dwelt in by farmers and shepherds. You have no idea who to look for. The intel you've gathered is scarce. The only thing you have is your man's name. Rost's inhabitants don't seem to fear you. The blacksmith looks down and continues his work.
The man you're looking for left long ago. I don't think he shall ever be back.
He replies evasively. Kael Sinar needs him.
No. The rebels need him. You have... Your journey to the Ismarin forest was quite smooth. Meeting Ankorin was incredibly shocking.